somber tone just 3 days after that horrific massacre in Uvalde, Texas, that left 19 children and 3 adults dead. But make no mistake here. Don't mistake somberness for a lack of resolve. As a life member of the NRA and someone who worked with this organization for years, I can tell you, we all here on this convention floor have a sincere commitment to keep our kids and society safe. That's what the media cannot seem to fathom.
The leadership of the National Rifle Association has proven time and time again that they are contributing to the problem of gun violence, not trying to solve it.
The purpose of the NRA appears to be, yes, selling lots of guns, but also living like kings.
Putting yourself in the shoes of these parents instead of in the arms of the NRA might let you wriggle free from the vice-like grip of the NRA.
It is awful to watch that. What you just saw right there is why there is an overwhelming feeling inside this Houston Convention Center that the 5 million members of the NRA are under attack. You just saw it. So now let's be clear. That horrific murder spree in Uvalde is not the fault of anyone in this room, and it is certainly not the fault of NRA leadership, but that is not what the left would have you believe. Right now in America, all our rights are under attack. The NRA is the front lines in protecting those rights, and not just the Second Amendment either, but the first two. And because this organization, the one you see behind me, is so powerful, it always has the anti-gun crowd trying to destroy it. And make no mistake, the NRA's power doesn't come from the lobbyists in Washington, the suits there, or the executives at headquarters. It comes from the unwavering, indomitable fighting spirit of its members. It's why they came here, to speak the truth, not from the media, but from patriots who love the Second Amendment.
We here today, and millions more like us, are patriotic Americans, the heart and soul of this country. We love our nation. We love our children, grandchildren, friends, and family. And that's why we will always value, cherish, and protect our fundamental human right to defend ourselves, our communities, and our loved ones. We, the NRA, will never ever stop fighting for the right of the innocent and the law-abiding to defend themselves.
As Texans and as Americans, we grieve and mourn with these families. The loss of their child is a tragedy that no parent should ever have to endure. We will bind up the wounds of the people of Uvalde.
The test of time has proven that this greatest experiment in human history, called the United States of America, is truly the only government that guarantees an individual's liberties and freedoms.
So this is why I broadcast from this convention floor, because it restores my faith in America. As you look at the faces here, as you talk to the people here, you will find they are what is great about America. Everyone here loves this country. Everyone here wants your rights protected, no matter what side of the aisle you may fall on. All of them, all of our rights. The people in this room aren't dangerous. They aren't violent. In fact, their quest for safety and security runs through their veins, and we are torn up about what happened in Texas. They may be the most misunderstood group of Americans we have ever seen, the people that walk this floor, at no fault of their own. The media and their socialist overlords want you to misunderstand the members of the NRA. The media wants you to hate them. The media wants you to criticize them and ostracize them from society. But here is where the real underestimation comes in. The people in this room that I talk to on a regular basis will never back down. And their greatest weapon isn't their sidearm or their AR-15. It's the truth and the Constitution. And they use both to wage war in defense of freedom. Joining me now is North Carolina Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson. Mark, welcome to the program, Governor.
Good to be here again, as always.
I've seen you here a lot of years, and it's good to see you here. This is a more somber tone, but it's important you're here, and thank you for coming. Some cancellations. What do you think?
I guess people have their own motivations for doing things, but so do I. You know, when things like this happen, you know, I said this back in 2018, when things like this happen, we know what the right thing to do is. We've got the right formula. We've got the winning formula. We've been preaching it ever since Columbine. And there are lots of places that refuse to adhere to what we're saying. But the bottom line is this, you know, law-abiding citizens should not back down and should not give up their constitutional rights. That's the bottom line. That's why I'm here.
We watched earlier guys like Chuck Schumer, others that vilify the NRA. They think the members out here are toxic. I don't think they've ever talked to any of these members. There's nothing toxic about this room.
Absolutely. You know, one of the most disgusting things about this entire event, other than the fact that this madman took these children's lives, is how a lot of our elected officials have used it for their own political advantages. You know, they've given about 5 to 10 words of condolences to the family members and the grieving nation, but then they've got 150, 200, 300 words of venom for their political enemies. For them, it's not about the tragedy that happened. It's about how they can leverage this for their elections, and it's very sad to see grown men do this. Grown men and women, rather.
Why do you think it is they come after the NRA as hard as they do?
It's the easy target. You know, this is the easy target. They come after the NRA and claim that the NRA is responsible for these shootings, but I can tell you this right now, and I'm not shy about saying this. The NRA has never advocated for the death of anyone. You know, someone told me one time, you're in the NRA, you have blood on your hands. And I looked at him and I said, I think you mispronounced Planned Parenthood. Planned Parenthood is an organization that actually has blood on its hand. It advocates for the death of children in the womb. This organization fights for life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness and holding on to those principles. We have advocated for things like School Shield and programs that will increase school safety. We advocate for teaching young children about gun safety and respecting guns. We do not advocate these shootings, and from what I've seen, none of our members have been responsible for these things.
I mean this when I say the left is all talk, and from the right and gun activists, the NRA, other groups too. It's actionable items, whether you're training people to how to respond to an active shooter, whether you're training people with policy, technology, whatever else it might be to protect schools. These are actionable items. The left has none.
That's exactly right. You know, they give all this big talk about, oh, we're going to shut down the NRA. We're going to take away your AR-15s, your AK-47s. Okay, let's say, for example, you do take away my AR-15, which has never been used in a crime. My neighbors, you take those away. Who's still going to have the guns? The very same people who commit these actions are still going to have those guns hidden, and they're still going to kill people with them. They're not attacking the solution at the root. When 9/11 happened, we didn't ban airplanes. We reinforced the cockpit doors. We doubled down on security in the airports. That is the thing that should have been done after the Columbine tragedy, because unfortunately, that set a standard in this nation for madmen. We need to deal with that by making sure our children are taken care of.
You know, I expect those on the left to come out after us. What I don't expect is for those on the right, you know, honestly, sadly, maybe I do expect some of them to start to back down, especially in Washington. President Trump calls them rhinos, Republicans in name only. What's your message to them?
My message to them is if this is not the time when you're willing to stand up for the Second Amendment, you were never willing to stand up for the Second Amendment. These are the tough times when the wise and the strong stand firm on what they believe in and push back against those false narratives that we're hearing. If we're not willing to push back against false narratives now, we'll never be willing to do it.
All right, Lieutenant Governor Mark Robinson, I appreciate you coming on the program.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you so much.
You
got it.